Welcome to Game Day Battle, where Cleveland sports news meets biased and outspoken opinion. A full Game Day Battle crew here for a pretty big show. We've got the national championship, and we got to give a little bit of applause for Kentucky for doing whatever they were expected to do.
Beating Kansas, thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good. So we're gonna hit that a little bit. We got to. It's a pretty big game. Also, the Buckeyes season is over. We want to look back a little bit at where they came from, what they've done. Also, the big game that they lost against Kansas, and then of course where we're heading. Browns draft day. It's coming up. This is officially the beginning of the Browns season. So, or at least the Browns off season, we'll say, and that is coming up in a few weeks. So we're going to start to look at the prospects that we have. We looked a little bit before, but we're going to look a little bit deeper now and see what we've got, what we need to get. And then we've also got the Indian season officially starting very, very soon. So
excited, very.
Absolutely. And there's been some activity. Jimenez is not exactly going to start the season, I think. So
hoping.
Right. Well, so we're going to hit all that, and we know what's going to happen with the Indians this year. In fact, we've got some inside info on exactly how it's going to go, so we're going to reveal that. Right now, Brett Finnegan in Sporting the Monsters gear that you can hardly see. There you go.
There you go. Look at the Indians going on, too.
And the Indians, yeah. Old school. Ramon Torres.
Yeah, that's right.
Sporting Game Day Battle.
Yeah, I like to support my team.
This is your team?
Home team.
The home team, the real home team. And Dale in some lavender, is that what that is?
Hey man, don't say anything about the Macho Man shirt. I'll drop an elbow.
Yeah, he will. But it is a lavender shirt.
In honor of WrestleMania was yesterday. I'm rocking the Macho Man shirt.
All right, Macho Man forever.
Game Day Battle is brought to you by Bamboozle's Restaurant and Lounge in Parma. They have the best drink specials anywhere. Seriously, buy one, get one free drinks. How often do you hear of it? You don't. They do it twice a week. Billy's mom makes the pasta sauce all the time, and the burgers, you simply won't find a better one. Check them out, bamboozles.com. Again, bamboozles.com. When you go there, tell them GDB sent you.
All right, so Kentucky has done what everybody expected them to do. They've won the NCAA tournament, and they've done so in pretty fine fashion. So there's not a whole lot of news there, not a whole lot to talk about, except that this is a very dominant team. We haven't seen a whole lot of dominant teams in college basketball for a little while. Why? Because all of the big players end up going to the NBA very quickly. And in this situation, I think this is probably the last year for Kentucky to have this sort of a team. Two of their top picks this year, in fact, probably number 1 and number 2, are going to be from Kentucky, and we've got a total of 5 in the first round expected to go from Kentucky. So if you've ever seen gutting a team, this is going to be about it. So, Brett, I know Kentucky wasn't exactly the team you watched all year long, but you got to see a bit of them play throughout the season, and then, of course, in the tournament. Are they really the team that everybody made them out to be?
I believe so. I think ever since the tournament started, they were on a roll, and they never looked back. You know, it's just their goal was the national championship. You know, you got to give it up to John Calipari. He did a great job with those kids. You know, some big guys on that team. You know, they set the record for blocks. I mean, that's a defensive team, and they could score. So they looked right to the national championship, and they didn't look back. So Kentucky is legit, and you know they had all rights to deserve to win the championship.
Some shaky moments though throughout. I mean, it wasn't like they just stormed through everybody.
Yeah, but they never quit. They never stopped. You know, we saw the Ohio State. Against Kansas, they kind of slowed down there. They wanted to run out the clock, but Kentucky kept on winning and winning and winning throughout their season. So, all props to them. They deserve it.
Well, you know, and a lot of people last year, a lot of the pundits said that Ohio State had the type of team that we probably saw with Kentucky this year. And when you see the two next to each other, what we had last year with Ohio State and then what Kentucky had, you can really see a big difference in athletic ability and just general size that we didn't quite have. So I think that it probably what you're saying about how they really did kind of come through and sort of support what everybody said about them is probably true. And in addition to that, when they needed to, they did assert themselves, and when they asserted themselves, they pretty much took control. So, Ramon, you didn't get to see the championship, couldn't do it,
No.
but you did. However, you got to see this team and both these teams, Kansas and Kentucky, throughout the tournament. Impressed?
By both teams, yeah. Didn't think Kansas was gonna make it this far, even getting past Ohio State. We thought we had it in the bag, but that's what I get for thinking. But Kentucky is the truth, and they've been all season long, not just only in the tournament. You know, they came in 32-2 into the tournament. These guys, you know, they got that last-minute buzzer beater by Indiana to beat them. You know, they came back and avenged their loss against them, and they just steamrolled everybody. You know, everybody thought, oh, you know, they had shaky moments. Yeah, this team is the truth, and they showed defensively and offensively, like Brett was saying, nobody could touch them, and that's why they were everybody's pick.
Well, you know, there are a few fun storylines. You got coach versus coach. You've also got them avenging their loss against Indiana, and they had to play Louisville too, which is their, you know, their, for us, our Michigan, or Michigan to us, that's their Michigan, and so there's a lot of adversity that they had to play through with that, and they were able to kind of pull through on that. But I mean, you kind of brought up storylines, and that was something that they did give us as a fun storyline throughout.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, with the 5 potential, you know, first round drafts, this team is just built for championships. So, and they proved why they're the best.
Yeah. Well, Dale, sold on Anthony Davis?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's definitely a playmaker, and he's definitely going to come out early and contribute heavily in the NBA. Would have much rather have seen the Buckeyes in that game. I think we would have matched up a little bit better with Kentucky, and I would have loved to see Kraft playing some defense on him. I think that would have been much more interesting than what we saw in this game. But you know, all props to Kentucky. You know, Brett nailed it. John Calipari, he always manages to pull winners together. You know, Kentucky's just not a fly-by-year team. You know, they are a basketball town, and they bring it year after year. I believe this is like their ninth national championship. So props to them. They might lose some guys, but I know that they got the coaching staff in place to reload with young talent and probably come out and compete for it again.
They're up there, and that's pretty cool. So I'd like to see Davis in some wine and gold, maybe.
I don't know. You know,
not gonna happen now.
Guard, maybe he could play small forward. We'll see.
Well, you take him though.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, well...
he definitely won't be there at that point, though.
No, I know. But somebody who might be there is Sullinger, who he wasn't the dominant player we needed against Kansas, which is exactly why Kansas was in the championship tonight. So, looking at that game, looking at Ohio State versus Kansas, and maybe even most of the tournament, were you seeing Sullinger or Kraft as the leader of this team?
Well, you know, as a point guard, you almost have to be a leader out there. You know, you're the guy who's directing all the traffic, and you're the man who decides where the ball goes. And you know, it's I think Kraft's stepped up the whole tournament long. He played some amazing defense, setting that record, 6 steals in the conference finals. And Sullinger was there when we need him, and it was a solid first half from the whole team. And then second half came out, and I don't know if they just thought it was over or. They just let that go, and they just started playing slothful. See a lot of slothfulness out there.
Slothful, all right.
in that second half there, and you know, you blow a 17-point lead like that in those kind of games, you can't let that happen. And Kansas, you know, they had their opportunities and they took them, and we had some late turnovers, and we had a lot of confusion towards the end of the game. I don't know if the game plan was, if everybody was on the same page, but. You know, you don't want to see your team standing around like this with one as the clock runs out. Like, is this what we were supposed to do? Well, what's happening? It's very disappointing, and you know, we're going to lose a lot of these guys, and you know, I don't see the opportunity to be where we were and what we could have done in the future. I think we're going to be in a little bit of a rebuilding process as well. Going to reload and see what we can come with, but look for Sullinger to be gone. Look for Kraft to be gone, and
Buford.
Yeah,
Buford's definitely gone. Well, are you happy with the fight that you saw out of them?
Not in the second half. I didn't see much. I didn't see much of anything going on in the second half.
Well, speaking of Kraft, I think Kraft will be back next year. We've got him perhaps for a couple of years. He's an academic guy, and he's probably not the stereotypical NBA draftee.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance he comes back. So we've got Kraft, and then we've also got a couple of younger guys that have some pretty high grades, and we haven't got to see a whole lot from them. It's kind of a reset at this point. Sullinger's gone, Buford's gone. Are you looking at a rebuilding year? I know Dale had mentioned sort of a rebuilding for the next year or so, or are you thinking we've really got some gems sitting on the bench ready to go?
That's kind of hard to say. I mean, where do those gems are throughout the tournament? You didn't see any of those gems.
They didn't get much time.
But we have is Deshaun Thomas coming back? Yeah, and Kraft. I mean, it's only 2 people out of 5. That's 5 that's gonna be on the floor. I mean, it's gonna be. We're not. I don't think we'll make the tournament next year, but we're not going to be that number 1 seed everybody thinks we're going to be. We're going to be the lower seed, and it'll take us a little while to gel with those, with the prospects on the bench. I want to say so. I'm looking forward to next year. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think everybody should get their hopes up about Ohio State basketball next year.
Buckeyes don't rebuild; they reload
and fire.
That's right.
Well, there isn't a Sullinger type talent probably sitting on our bench, but that might be a good thing because I think we all got for the last couple of years distracted, us and the team, perhaps the coach as well, by what Sullinger was supposed to be and what he has turned out to be. Mentally he doesn't have it. Mentally he's not rigid enough. He's not focused enough to be that guy down the stretch you can give the ball to. Honestly, if he had half the drive Kraft did, he would be one of the most amazing players we've ever seen, and he didn't. So perhaps having a bunch of role players in a system like Ohio State with a good coach, that could be something to be happy about next year, right?
I like that.
All right.
Well put.
All right.
He's not who we thought he was. Maybe he's not.
We all thought that he was going to be gone last year, and he decided he shocked the world about staying one more year.
No, he just didn't want to come here.
And this year he's done. He's going to be in the NBA. You saw the look on his face when he was sitting on the floor. He goes, he did that look of, I can't wait to get out of here.
I think they call that Tom Bradying now. That's what they call that.
I like that. Well, there's an outside chance that he decides, or the agent that he's not talking to tells him, you're not really that valuable right now, but if you come back and have another good year, maybe you will be, and maybe he comes back, but that's probably not going to happen. I don't want him to come back. I don't. I'm good. See you later.
I was wondering, if he hurt his stock this year, but I think them finishing in the Final Four, he's still up there. He's going to be top 3, top 5.
But you know what? He wasn't a dominant force getting him there, nor in that game. Mm-hmm. And we all listen to a lot of radio, sports radio, watched a lot of sports TV. And did anybody hear any buzz? Anybody talking about Sullinger this, Sullinger that, the dunk, the comeback, anything? Nothing.
Nope. He
was a player on the team, and a player on the team is not going to be a lottery pick. And I know he's mock drafts have him going kind of high, but I think that's based on the promise that he had and where he was throughout the season. But this was his chance. Put up or shut up. And he kind of shut up.
Yeah, he shut up.
He shut the fuck up.